Right, so welcome back to another video on this channel. Welcome back to another episode of my Premier League Game Week predictions. This is now, of course, Game Week 23, and yeah, more games that are very interesting this weekend. And yeah, last weekend I did get myself 8 points, which is, a bit better from last week, a bit better from recent weeks, but we will be looking to better that this weekend. And yeah, before I do get into this video, I would like to quickly ask you guys to subscribe to the channel if you are new, because we are now looking to hit 1,400 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. So if you do hit that subscribe button, it will cost you absolutely nothing and would very much make my days, which is very much a win-win situation. And yeah, let's get into predicting these Game Week 23 fixtures. Starting off with the game at Villa Park tomorrow at lunchtime, and that is Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Now, Villa showing a bit of inconsistency in recent weeks. I mean, they're on a bit of a win-loss record. They were beaten at home by West Ham United during the week, so they will be looking to pick up some points here and avenge that defeat. Arsenal's good run ended in, really controversial fashion at Molineux to Wolves during the week, and yeah, they will be missing David Luiz and Bernd Leno for the next 3 matches because of those, of course, red cards that did pick up at Molineux during the week. I feel like Arsenal will, really be angry in this one and will really want to avenge that, controversial defeat to Wolves during the week. But I feel like Aston Villa will be the same because of their, inconsistent form recently, and the fact that Arsenal, they're going to have to play Runderson in goal, who does look a bit of a liability at times, and Arsenal as well, still missing Kieran Tierney, potentially missing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So yeah, I just feel like this will end a draw, and that's why I've gone for Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 1. But overall, it should be a really interesting fixture between two sides that I personally think are probably really evenly matched. Now onto the game at St James's Park, Newcastle United versus Southampton. Now, Newcastle couldn't quite add to that Everton victory that they did get at Goodison Park. They did lose at home to Crystal Palace during the week, but positive for them, Alan Saint-Maximin back in the team. He could really be that masterstroke that Steve Bruce needs to survive relegation this season, and he's really made a massive difference to this Newcastle team since he's come back from injury, and I think he offers a lot of support for Callum Wilson up front. Now with Southampton, where do I start? I mean, of course, there are now 4 defeats on the bounce since that win over Liverpool at St Mary's a few weeks ago. Their confidence is absolutely shot, especially with the fact in midweek they did lose 9-0, yes, 9-0 once again away to Manchester United during the week. They looked absolutely horrific. And yeah, they finished the game with 9 men, and Jan Bednarek's red card has been overturned, so he will be able to play in this one. But Southampton, listen to this. This is the amount of injuries and suspensions they have. Of course, Alexander Jankovic will miss this game through suspension. Injuries they have: Kyle Walker-Peters, Yannick Vestergaard, Mohamed Salazou, Aurel Romeu, Ibrahima Diallo, Theo Walcott, Nathan Tella, Will Smallbone, and Michael Obafemi all out injured for this game. Southampton really have a massively depleted squad for this one. And to be honest, for that reason, and for the fact that I think Newcastle at times, especially with Saint-Maximin in the team, they can just pick up points, and that's why I think that Newcastle will just about nick this one, and that is why I've gone for Newcastle 2, Southampton 1. Maybe Southampton can pull this one out of the bag, but overall I feel like everything's going wrong for them at this moment in time. Their confidence is absolutely down the gutter at this moment in time, and I feel like Newcastle will just about win this one. Now onto the game at Turf Moor, Burnley versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Now I would like to call this one the beating Liverpool at home derby, because of course these two sides have, provided Liverpool with 2 home defeats in a row now in the Premier League, and yeah, Brighton have done immensely well in their last few games. In their last 4 games, they picked up 3 wins and 1 draw to, kind of ease themselves away from any relegation struggle. Burnley now have suffered back-to-back defeats to Chelsea and Manchester City, but will be looking to steal some points off, a very winnable game for them against Brighton. Even though Brighton have been really good in recent weeks, I think Burnley, even losing to Man City and Chelsea, they played 2 very good teams who are on form at the moment. And yeah, they will want to win this game to, give them some more space to breathe in terms of the relegation battle. But I just think Brighton, they absolutely ran themselves into the ground, and obviously they had to do it at Anfield against Liverpool to claim that 3 points, so they will be obviously massively fatigued, I think. And for that reason, I can just see Burnley just about nicking this one. I've gone for Burnley 1, Brighton 0, and yeah, just surely not 5 unbeaten from Brighton. I mean, just surely that's not going to happen, but you never know in the Premier League, of course, especially this season when I said it has been so mental. But yeah, I've gone for a Burnley win here. I think they will just about edge this one. Now onto the game at Craven Cottage, Fulham versus West Ham United. Now, Fulham really need to start winning games here, because especially with how Brighton have been in recent weeks, they've been picking up points so consistently, and Fulham, they need to get back onto form if they're going to have any chance of surviving the dreaded relegation zone, and they will expect no mercy from West Ham, because of course West Ham themselves are on very good form. They showed that the Liverpool loss was only a once-off, especially against a really impressive Villa side, and they absolutely tore Villa to pieces. Jesse Lingard getting a brace on his West Ham debut, and Josh Maja could make his debut after signing on loan from Bordeaux, and Fulham could look to him for the goal-scoring touch. But overall I feel like West Ham are clear favourites, but I just can't see Fulham getting something from this, simply because I feel like they have to, and that is why I've gone for Fulham 2, West Ham United 2. And I just think that, even though West Ham are the clear favourites and clearly the better team overall, I think Fulham cannot afford to drop more points in their battle to beat the drop. Now onto the game at Old Trafford, Manchester United versus Everton. Now, of course, United, they're just about to scrape past Southampton during the week, but not in all seriousness, they looked absolutely ruthless. And what I really like is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with 10 minutes to go. I think the score was like 6-0 or something, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was constantly driving these players on to score more goals and obviously get their goal goal difference up, and yeah, I think they're looking really, really good at this moment in time. Their home form, Manchester United, isn't really the best at times this season, and they are facing an Everton team who are, have a fully fit squad at this moment in time, bar Alan, even though I think Alan is a massive miss for them. They beat Leeds during the week, of course, at Elland Road, and they still have got 2 games in hand over the teams around them, so they are definitely still in and around Champions League qualification contention. But yeah, United will be absolutely booming with confidence after that 9-0 just drubbing of Southampton during the week. They also have a fully fit squad, but Everton will be a tough match, and for the reason I just think that there'll be a lot of goals in this one, and that is why I've gone for Manchester United 3, Everton 2. I think United will just about nick this one. I think it will be a high scoring game, and I think United will add to that 9-0 drubbing of Southampton during the week. Now onto the game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and that is Tottenham versus West Brom. Now Spurs lost their last 3 games, they're down to 8th in the league, looking, they looked really poor against Chelsea, a lack of ambition in that game. They rely so much on Harry Kane, and I think that, the pressure is really starting to build on Jose Mourinho in terms of his status as Tottenham manager. West Brom are as good as gone in my opinion, especially after that Brighton win over Liverpool, which I think has, mainly confirmed the relegations of West Brom and Sheffield United. But West Brom, of course, have made themselves a few good signings like Yokeslu, Maitland-Niles, Diagne, Snodgrass, of course, who signed earlier on in the window. So could they, pay dividends for West Brom and maybe get them some good form? And yeah, I think West Brom will actually be optimistic going into this one, because although they're not in good form themselves, and although they are in a really bad situation in the league table, it's really the ideal time to play Tottenham, if I'm honest, because obviously there's so much pressure on Mourinho and the whole team in general, missing Harry Kane, and for that reason I think that they will make it a bit of a tough one for Spurs, but I just can't see Spurs not turning it around here. And yeah, for that reason I think it will be Tottenham 2, West Brom 1, and yeah, a narrow win for Spurs. I feel like they just have to win this one, if I'm honest. Now onto the game at Molineux, Wolves versus Leicester City. Now Wolves did get their first win since mid-December when they beat Chelsea. They beat Arsenal during the week, obviously in a highly controversial game. Jan Moutinho with an absolute wonder goal to win the game, and yeah, a massive confidence booster for them to galvanise the squad after that really poor run of form they had over Christmas and New Year's. And yeah, Willian Jose actually not looking too bad, and actually does have a bit of similarities to Raul Jimenez in terms of his playstyle and what he actually offers to this Wolves setup. Leicester responded to that Leeds defeat, of course, last weekend with a win against Fulham at Craven Cottage. I still think they're actually on for the Premier League title in the title race at this moment in time, because they are in and around Manchester City, even though City are kind of, walking away from the rest of the teams at the moment, but you still have to count Leicester in that race, I think. However, Leicester for this game, they are missing Wesley Fofana, who's a massive miss, Timothy Castagna, another massive miss, and probably still Jamie Vardy, who is not yet match fit. And I do think Leicester are the more likely team to win this game, because of course they are a very, very strong side, even with the players they are missing. But I think that for the sake of Wolves' result in midweek, I think that Wolves will, they'll be galvanised. I think they'll have a bit of confidence in them, and I think they will just about get a point. I've gone for Wolves 1, Leicester 1, and yeah, I just feel like that, added to the fact that Leicester have a few players missing, I think it's set up for a draw. Now onto the game at Anfield, undoubtedly the match of the weekend, and that is Liverpool versus Manchester City. Now this is absolutely massive, I can't understate that. Liverpool under massive pressure again, those wins over Spurs and West Ham now completely wiped from the memory with that defeat to Brighton at home during the week, and they really couldn't ask for a bigger task here, because City looking absolutely formidable, 9 wins on the bounce, haven't conceded a goal in 6 games, so they will take some massive stopping City. I think this is an absolute must win for Liverpool if they wanted, even stay in the title race, and I do think that if City can afford to draw this one, and I do believe that if City, just win this one, I think that City will obviously be the main favourites for the Premier League title, and they will kind of run away with it. Liverpool might not even have Sadio Mane fit for this game. They already have a few injuries like Fabinho, Alisson's 50-50, so a Liverpool win, to be honest, would really baffle me. But you know what, I just have a sneaking suspicion that Manchester City are going to take 3 points and cement themselves as clear title favourites, and that is why I've gone for, maybe controversially, Liverpool 0, Manchester City 1. And yeah, I could easily be wrong, it could be a draw, but I've said I'm not going to be boring in this one. I do think that City will just about nick this one, and for some reason I have an inkling feeling that it's going to be Ilkay Gundogan with the winner. But yeah, maybe I'm just talking at my arse here, but that's just what I feel like will happen in my gut. Now into the game at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United versus my club Chelsea. Now Sheffield United may be giving themselves a small prayer as to surviving relegation, won 3 of the last 5 league games, won 4 of the last 6 games in all competitions. They've played a lot of big teams recently, and of course that does not end here because they do play Chelsea. Chelsea looked extremely dominant versus Spurs. I think we absolutely controlled the game. We look a lot better under Thomas Tuchel. 3 clean sheets in his first 3 games for Thomas Tuchel, well and truly back in the top 4 race. And to be honest, even though we have all that good stuff to say about Chelsea, this would just be the type of game that Chelsea would lose. I think all Chelsea fans can relate to me in terms of me saying that, but I just think that even though we're missing Thiago Silva, who is of course a massive miss, Christensen will come in his place, and hopefully he will do okay. I just do think that Chelsea will have too much for the Sheffield United team. We're on a roll again, we're back in with confidence, and I do think it will be Sheffield United 1, Chelsea 3, and yeah, Chelsea should win this somewhat comfortably, I think. Now onto the game at Elland Road, the final game of the game week, and that is Leeds United versus Crystal Palace. Now, you just don't know what you're going to get with Leeds. They're just a really mixed bag. I've just accepted they're impossible to predict. I mean, they lost to Everton last time out in midweek after beating Leicester last weekend, so yeah, they're just really unpredictable. Palace now now back-to-back wins over Wolves and Newcastle respectively, but did beat Leeds 4-1 the last time these sides did play at Selhurst Park earlier in the season. And Crystal Palace, another one of those teams that are just extremely unpredictable and a bit of a mixed bag, if I'm honest. And yeah, if I'm honest, I think this is a really, really tough game to call, simply because of the fact that there's two sides here that are on level points in the table, both incredibly inconsistent and both can be quality at times at both ends of the pitch, mainly going forward. And for that reason, I think there will be goals, but I can't separate these two teams. I think it will be a draw. I've gone for Leeds 2, Crystal Palace 2, and yeah, overall it should be a very, very interesting game between two sides that are extremely unpredictable. And so yeah, those are my Premier League 23 game week predictions. If you want to go and leave your predictions for these games down in the comment section below, please feel free to do so. I'm very interested to see how you guys think these games will pan out. And yeah, that is where we're going to leave this video. So if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like. 20 likes as per usual would be massively appreciated by myself. And also, as I said at the start of this video, if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very, very much appreciated, because we are now looking to, as I said, hit 1,400 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.